Mel, 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 Mel. Everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everyone, Cantonese Cat here. Monthly chart of Clean Spark. Really, since December 2022, it's been just making higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Right now, we've been trying to find a higher low before maybe potentially making another higher high. It's got a very, very nice bull flag looking structure over here without using any kind of fancy indicators. And if you do put up some of the other fancy indicators, for example, I put up the Ichimoku cloud, it tells you why we've had a hard time really breaking above this low 20s range. It's because we're right at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, served as significant resistance, and really tested this resistance for about 4 months now. One, two, three, four, right? I think it's getting ready to really break out. On a bull market, generally price would flip the blue line over here, the Tenkan, from resistance to support. And it did do that for quite some time now. And right now, we just basically have the Tenkan Kijun cross, which is bullish, right? The Tenkan is the blue line, the Kijun is the red line. You can also call this conversion and baseline. Wherever these two cross over, if the leading line, which is the conversion line, crosses over the baseline, it's a bullish cross right here. It just tells you that things have been looking very, very bullish, and you might be looking at anticipating a stronger bull trend to come, potentially for a longer period of time. What it did here was it basically got a little bit below the Tenkan, bounced right back, and then do a little bit of a very, very nice back test over here, right? When it broke back through above is on very, very big volume. When it back tested the Tenkan over here is on relatively lower volume. This is a completely expected thing that you would do on a bull trend, right? And with 4 months testing the Ichimoku cloud, the more you try and tap on the resistance, the weaker resistance will get, right? And I think that's exactly what we've been doing. It's just been consolidating sideways, trying to burn off a lot of the energy that's been exhausted over here from the bulls, trying to take a break. And bears have really not been able to do too much damage to the chart because you have a very, very nice bullish cross, because you have a lot of these really nice support down here. Back tested the Tenkan over here, found support. And right now, price just kind of consolidating between these two areas over here. And because there's a bull trend, you expect that the next move is going to be up, right? And if you don't look at just the Ichimoku cloud, you put up the Super Ichi cloud, which is a variation of Ichimoku cloud, but it takes into account the super trend. You can also see you have a bullish cross over here of the Tenkan over to Kijun. And the same thing, like I've been trying to bring about the cloud for a few months now, just unable to do so. And guess what it did? It kind of just went back down and back test the Tenkan and the Kijun, finding support so far, forming a very, very nice bull flag, which means most likely, probability wise, it's going to go through some bullish continuation moving onwards. Let me go ahead and pull out the anchor volume profile, look at the volume shelf. I'm just going to start from here because that's when CleanSpark really started to become like a true miner. I'm going to turn off the Supichi cloud, and you can see right now it basically pushed through this big giant volume shelf over here on high volume, and it's just basically kind of doing a little bit of a back test at this very, very high volume area over here. So far, everything is looking pretty darn bullish in all the indicators that we looked at. You look at the Bollinger Band, pretty clear in terms of what it's been doing. It's a very, very strong bull trend. 20-month moving average is cranking up very, very strongly. And the price just kind of got way too far ahead of itself. Just went outside up a Bollinger Band for like 2 months in a row, and it's just way too far, way too fast. And needed to cool down for a month back inside, and the second month back inside so far, right? But meanwhile, the Bollinger Band continues to expand, which is going to allow price to go up higher. I do think the upper Bollinger Band is, and eventually for a bull market, is eventually going to serve as a magnet to continue to push price up higher as the band continues to expand. Price is allowed to go higher, and as price continues to go higher, the Bollinger Band is going to expand. It's going to happen until price just got way too impulsive, usually, and the Bollinger Band cannot keep up, and usually price just end up being completely exhausted, and that's when you get a lot of technical damage. I'm not really seeing that pattern here so far. You look at Bollinger Band, like look at low Bollinger Band. Where did it go? Where did it go? It like went all the way to the negatives. This is telling you that there's a very, very impulsive bull trend that's happening right now. Typically, when I see something like that, I'm not really necessarily worried about trend change until maybe when the Bollinger Band starts to come back. and there's no sign to to say that that's the case right now so far. It's looking pretty good on the monthly. On the 2 month, I'm sorry, on the 2 week, I'm going to pull up the Ichimoku cloud here and give you a little bit more of a clear picture here. What you're really seeing here is, again, very, very nice bull flag that I was showing you on the monthly, but you're just basically zooming in, right? Basically chopping each of the monthly candle essentially in half. And you're looking at more detail. What you're seeing here, again, is a very, very bull trend that just pushed above the Ichimoku cloud. And it's just back testing some of the Tenkan indication support down here, looking like it's finding some pretty decent support, right? And if you don't look at the Ichimoku, look at the Supi cloud, that's even look even nicer. It basically just broke through the cloud on high volume. It's back testing the top of the cloud on low volume. This usually is something that's very, very bullish because once you break through a resistance level and back test it, found support for really like a few months now. You find some very, very good solid grounding over here. This is going to potentially serve as a very powerful launch whenever this happens. And that's kind of what I'm anticipating by just looking at this. If you also look at the 2 week candle morphology, like there's a very, very nice hammer candle over here. Usually these are like kind of like bottoming behavior. And to have a very, very nice hammer candle right into the Supichi cloud, found support, bounced back all the way back above the Tenkan. And the next two candles over here also are above the Tenkan. Like this is a very, very bullish look for Clean Spark, to be completely honest with you. A lot of energy is being built up over here and it's doing the appropriate back test after the breakthrough. It's looking pretty good. If you look at the weekly, now the weekly, if you are a, how do I say this? If you are just looking at patterns without looking at all the other indicators, you would think that this potentially could be like a diamond top formation, right? And these diamond top formations, typically you would expect them to be bearish, but actually, if you look at some technical analysis textbooks, they actually call diamonds essentially just consolidation pattern. There's no guarantee that diamonds would reverse. There's no guarantee that diamond top's going to work out. There's no guarantee that diamond bottoms are going to work out. And some TA books actually think that diamond formation is a continuation pattern. So based on what I'm seeing, I think this is a continuation pattern. You know why I think that is? Because it's just basically tapped on a bull market support band twice on an uprising bull market support band. It's a bull market. It's going to back test the bull market support band on its way up. And on its way up, it's going to drag the bull market support band up along with it. On a bear market, it's going to test the bear market's resistance band, and it's going to get rejected until you have a trend reversal, right? So far, this actually looks very, very, very bullish look. Like a tap once, tap twice, kind of like how it did back here, tap once, tap twice. You actually want to see this for a beginning into mid area of a bull market, because if you don't have something like this, if you don't back test the bull market support band, if it just keeps on going up, 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 you don't find good footing, the trend's gonna get exhausted and it's gonna plummet. This is actually a very good setup for a potential longer run, and I like the way it looks right now. Okay. Now, if I just kind of zoom out here a little bit, you're gonna see that basically all CleanSpark's been doing is been forming one cup and handle pattern after another, right? There's a very, very much of almost like a mirror looking kind of thing over here and over here, right? And really the entire existence, so for example, I draw a line, like I draw a, rectangle, whatever you call it over here. It looks like a cup and handle over here, right? And if anything, it looks like there's a cup and handle, broke through, back test, right? And very, very similar thing has been happening throughout this whole bull cycle. Like it just looks like it's just been breaking out of a cup and handle back test, right? Breaking into a cup and handle breakout back test, right? And you can also see like right now we're kind of doing the very, very same thing right here, where we once again broke out of a kind of like a cup and handle kind of thing. Like you imagine this is a cup and that's like a little bit of handle right there, and we're just doing a back test right now. Right? All of this is very, very healthy price action, by the way. If you look at my friend Tommy, he basically is showing you this very, very nice mirror pattern. If you're able to follow him, this is actually a very good account to follow. Temple underscore camp. He shows a lot of these very, very nice structures, and you can see that this whole mirror pattern has been working out pretty nicely so far. Kind of remarkable, actually. The volume also shows that there's probably going to be continuation because you have increased buy volume, declining sell volume, increasing buy volume, decreasing sell volume. And this is basically a setup for you to potentially just keep going higher, you know. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good so far in terms of the mirroring pattern, in terms of cupping handle formation. And like to be completely honest with you, if I just look at the momentum indicators, let's just look at the RSI. You did have a little bit of a bearish divergence over here that has already completely worked up. You already have RSI being reset, and you already have a little bit of a downtrend consolidation over here to cool RSI down. What you're really seeing here, if anything, you're starting to build up a little bit of like this hidden bullish divergence, where price just kind of go up a little bit, and RSI just kind of went down a little bit. And throughout the entire period, like and even from here, like price went from like $8 all the way up to 15 over here. You actually have a little bit of a cool down RSI over here on a weekly. So I think this whole thing right here is just basically cooling down a weekly RSI to get it ready for a stronger move upwards, right? I'm not really seeing any bearish divergence that is really getting me worried anymore because I think the bearish divergence that we see initially has already worked out. So this actually would have been a very, very nice reaccumulation range, and just like what Tommy is showing, increase buy volume, decrease sell volume, increase buy volume, decrease sell volume, right? Right now we've just been consolidating. I think we'll wait for our next move to go either up or down because the bull market support band is pointing up. I think the next move is going to be up. Okay. A couple other things I want to show you too. If you just look at monthly too, right now RSI is like not really even that overbought. Like the big move up here, RSI didn't really even get above 70. And right now RSI on the monthly is cooled down to like 60, right? Like for Bitcoin miner, for something that's like supposed to be very, very impulsive when it happens, and if it follows the trend for Bitcoin, and if IWM is about to break out, if the Russell 2000 small caps are about to break out, like this thing could potentially enter this really, really strong overbought territory for quite some time. And this is actually the strongest technical miner, the strongest technical for all the Bitcoin miners there is, right? And it's not really even like truly overbought. So I think there's a lot more room to go, guys. It's just my hunch, but I think there's a lot more room for it to go. You look at the Black Cat indicator. This is the Black Cat L3 Banker Fund Flow Trend Oscillator. This is supposed to kind of reflect in terms of what the whales are doing, whether or not they're buying or selling. Yeah. Right now, they continue to accumulate. Even the price kind of formed a little bit of bull flag over here. When sideways, went down even. The whale accumulation, the whale inflow continues to go up, right? If you look at this trend over here, where price have just kind of gone sideways over here, but whale continue to be in. If you look at this similar thing here on Vintel.io, you did see, for the month of May, it did end up having like a little bit of a bleep right here. But again, there might be some delayed data. Some people might have ended up, just selling during the consolidation. But overall, the whales are still in. And this is also not the most updated data either. So I do wonder whether or not, whales, a lot of whales have also kind of taken advantage over the last few days or so to kind of re-enter, especially with, relatively a little bit cooler CPI, whatever that means, and also with IWM looking like it could potentially break up. You're really looking at whales are staying, and if anything, there's a little bit of increased inflow over here. So far everything is looking pretty decent. I do think that there's going to be a big move up coming soon, maybe later this month, maybe next month, maybe the month after that. I don't really know, but honestly, after you break this volume shelf over here, after you break the Ichimoku cloud bottom over here, this thing could fly up a lot higher if you're able to also break about like these volume shelf over here, the low 20s, right? I think this thing could have the potential to just fly a lot higher if Bitcoin goes up higher, if IWM, the Russell 2000 small cap, stocks, if those also go up higher. I think the consolidation, whenever it's over, you're also going to have a very, very impulsive move up, right? One thought that I had was is you just look at the Bollinger Band. This is like the first really like push to try to kickstart the Bollinger Band expansion. Like you're not really seeing the parabolic move up yet. If you look at what Bitcoin did, in previous cycles, and what the Bollinger Band expansion for the monthly is showing, like the initial move is really just trying to open up the Bollinger Band and try to push it all the way down to the floor, right? And then you're gonna have some additional move to after that to try and be push the Bollinger Band up even higher for you to have an increasing bull market. Like the bull market even before that, right? You can see this whole move. All this is trying to do is just trying to break open the Bollinger Band to allow price to go up higher. So there's a potential that we're like right around here where we just push the Bollinger Band all the way down to trying to get price to get a little bit more of these really impulsive candles to go up, right? We might be like right around here. We're trying to push the Bollinger Band open to get a lot more kind of these candles to go up a lot higher, right? That's a potential for what CleanSpark is doing right now. It's just trying to break open the Bollinger Band, allowing price to go up higher. I think eventually upper Bollinger Band is going to serve as the magnet, and it would not be surprised me at all if we end up closing around the upper Bollinger Band for the month of May, which is 18.73, and that's going to be favorable for a bullish continuation afterwards. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to me. It's been over 15 minutes. Have a good one. Bye.